Hello, darlings, and welcome to our special edition of Pastor's Wives Tell All, where we three, Jessica, Jenna, and Stephanie, spill the tea on Thursdays. Grab some coffee or a pot of tea and listen in for all the tips and tricks and random facts you never knew you needed. Until now. Hello there, and welcome back to Pastor's Wives Tell All, where we spill the tea on Thursdays.
Guys.
Yes.
I feel like that's how I start every single spill the tea. I'm like, guys.
You do.
I do.
Guys.
It's just my signature, okay?
Love it. I love it.
Wow.
You definitely
Jessica.
have to be watching YouTube right now.
I am not a turkey, but you are. Back to our regularly scheduled programming.
That went so much better.
Guys, we're going to talk about our time in Minnesota. I just have to say,
You betcha.
one of my favorite things, obviously, I like the spiritual things too, but I love their accents. Okay.
I love
And
how
I
you
think
went
they love
country.
ours. Yes.
Yeah.
And speaking of country, I don't think we sound super country, but they loved our accents too.
Did someone say they loved our accents?
Yeah. And they thought it was funny to say bless your heart.
Oh, they did.
They asked us if
yeah.
that was a thing here in the South, if we say bless your heart a lot. And I was like, yes, we do. A whole lot.
And
Sometimes we're
sometimes-
serious
yeah.
and sometimes it's a
It's
little
not nice.
sarcastic. Yeah.
Well, first of all, can we talk about Penny and Chad? They
and
are
Chad.
the most amazing couple that runs the retreat, Blue Water Christian. I don't
Blue
know.
Water
camp.
Bible Camp.
Bible camp. There we go. It was absolutely beautiful there, but I mean, we told them we could just feel like the presence of a camp that has been prayed over, that has been loved, that they have given everything to this camp that they were called to over 20 years ago. Like, it was just so cool to like walk into something that is already so, I don't know, like refreshing to your soul.
For sure.
Oh, yes. I just wanted to move my whole family, all of our families, to that lake.
I know.
Yeah.
Just the presence of the Holy Spirit and just everything. Obviously, He goes with you wherever you go.
That's so true.
But when something is prayed up like that, gosh,
Yeah.
it's just so almost tangible.
Yeah. And it's really sweet too when you meet somebody and you feel like you've literally known them forever. They were just precious.
We miss you, Penny and
I
Chad.
know.
We do.
We miss y'all.
We do. We do so much.
Don't you know?
Okay, so this is to spill the tea, so we can't talk forever. So, like, Steph, what
true.
was like one of your favorite moments of camp?
Well, before we even got to camp, when you randomly told me to stop the car on a dirt road and you got out and then you just started dancing in front of the car for no reason.
You did.
Just happened. And I
don't know
was
why I did
confused,
that.
but I was there for it.
And then you got
Jenna
back in the car.
recorded it. It was
I did.
fine.
And then her feet were disgusting.
Yes.
Oh, they were. I'm sorry, Toby, the one that let us borrow his car for the whole weekend.
It's okay. You did a good job. You flipped your shoes over, like Stephanie said.
Yeah, that's true.
Therefore, his car did not get as
Well,
dirty.
I just was thinking to myself, as Stephanie likes to say, somehow we're just on this dirt road with cornfields and no houses. So if
For 6 miles.
for 6 miles.
Yeah.
So if by chance we, get attacked by some strange, whatever that's out there.
Child
Children
in
of
a
the
corn?
corn?
Wow. Thank you. So I just thought to myself, I must dance before the end of my time.
Oh,
That's
what you
kinda
thought.
where I was.
That's what you decide. Yourself decides to get out of the car,
Into the danger.
the scary road, into the danger
Yes.
to dance before you die,
100%.
potentially.
Potentially.
Okay.
And guess what?
Okay.
Dancing. I'm still here to still dance. Back to
Did
my
you
hometown.
just call somebody dancing? Like you're talking to dancing? I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. I'll add that one to the dictionary, even though it doesn't quite apply to the
Good
rules. But I liked it.
Hey, Steph.
Hey, Jess.
Keep finishing up your story.
Keep finishing it up.
Steph.
Yes.
So you were sharing a little bit about your favorite moments from this retreat. So now that you have shared something that happened before the retreat, do you want to share a favorite moment from the actual retreat?
No. I'm just kidding. I just wanted to see your response.
You're going to have to ask it again. That's going to be hard to edit.
No, you don't have to. Leave it in. Hi, people. You thought it was funny, right? Just saying.
Steph, you want to share anything else that happened while we were in Minnesota that you really enjoyed and had fun with?
That was a great question. Thank you.
Thanks. I'm a professional because I've asked it 5 times now.
My absolute favorite part was our be still time. I felt like the Lord just gave me permission to take a nap and rest and be with him in that way, which was very interesting for me to hear him say, take a nap, stop trying to be productive because that's your entire life. And I still love you if you're not productive. And so I think in that moment at that lake, it just did something for me. Also, of course, with my small group, I felt like a lot of us were struggling with the same kind of thing. So I just love how, and just hearing that from y'all's groups too, just some of the things y'all talked about, how God like fits you together with the right people.
Yeah.
Whether you think they're going to be the right people or not. He does that every retreat. I feel like even if we're like, I'm not sure, am I going to be able to relate to this person or whatever, or we don't know anything about some of them and we're like, well, we have no idea. So let's see what happens. And the Lord just knows. So yeah,
so
it's
true.
just sweet.
Hey, friend, we will get right back to our episode, but we want to take a moment and thank our patrons. You guys keep our podcast going.
If you are not a patron and you would like to consider donating to our podcast ministry, we would be so grateful, and we might even do a happy dance.
When you become a patron, you get perks like being the first to hear about special info and retreats. You get bonus episodes, monthly devotionals, lock screens, and more.
Plus, we have added a new $1 tier for those who believe in us and what we're doing, just because you love us.
So head on over to our show notes and click on the Patreon link to learn more. Now let's get back to our episode.
What about you, Jean?
Okay, so I actually super loved the day that we were able to go out on the boat and do the Q&A. And then right after that, we were able to have like free time on the lake and just be children. I mean,
Oh my
come on.
gosh, yes.
We literally acted like children, and I laughed harder.
It was so good.
They had one of those mats that's like out on the lake, and me and Jessica were standing on either end of it. And I kept trying to like pull it out from underneath her so that she would fall over. And one time she literally fell feet overhead backwards.
Oh
and when
my
she
gosh,
came
yes.
up out of the water, she like couldn't breathe. She was laughing so hard.
It was great.
And then I was so out of breath. I don't think I've done that much cardio in a while,
I
actually.
was sore the next day.
It was very entertaining. I needed a box of popcorn as I was sitting there with my little floaty thing.
I know. Everybody was
Watching
looking at
y'all.
us like, what are they doing? It was fun. And then also, I conquered a fear of jumping off of this really high thing. You know, people were that you jump off of into the lake. And it was very scary. It took me quite a while to actually take the plunge.
But she did
But
it.
I did it. And then I did it a second time. And it was really fun.
And it's not just a high dive. Like you have to jump out far enough where you don't like
Yes.
get paralyzed. So you have to jump out a certain.
It's a good thing you didn't use that word before because I saw it on Jenna's face go, oh, Lord have mercy.
It's true. If you would have jumped right down, you would have hurt
True.
yourself.
But I don't feel like you had to jump out as far as you thought you did. It was fine. I didn't die, and I did it twice. So
true.
if you're ever at Blue Water Bible Camp, take
Do
the
it.
plunge.
Do it.
Anyway, but I did love our Be Still time. It was super sweet. Typically, I sit there for quite some time trying to make something happen. Like, okay, Lord, speak to me through this. And I'm like trying to overanalyze everything. But it was just a really sweet time. I would say it was the most, I don't want to say productive because that's not what being still looks like. But usually I'm just trying to make things happen. And it was just really,
You were
really,
more
really sweet.
open and like you heard the Holy Spirit's voice, which is
Yes.
probably from growth, like spiritually over the past few
Yeah.
years. That now it's coming more naturally just to hear
For
him.
sure. And I really loved our small group. Our small group was precious. I love every single one of you. If you're listening.
I just love the women. So
Yeah.
it ended up being a smaller group than I think all of us expected.
Yeah.
But Jesus just had that all worked out. The women that needed to be there were there. And it was just fun. It was relaxing. It was chill. We had all ages represented.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things I love is every one of those women in some way had a connection to Blue Water and had a connection to Penny and Chad, whether their kids came to camp or they used to come to camp and then they were leaders as they got older. Like, I don't know. It's just a special thing they have in Grand Rapids, Minnesota. Like, it's just precious.
Yeah.
So I really loved that. I loved my small group. I feel like it was really cool to, like, when we started to be vulnerable and share things, quite a few of us were having the same feelings but didn't want to say it out loud. And I loved a moment during one of our small groups where I actually have never heard another person say the things that I think like I did. It started with Penny, and then it started with one of the other girls. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I think this all the time. And I thought I was the only one in the world because I had never really shared about it before. So that was a really special moment, just of how vulnerability can open up so many doors and free your mind and your heart space up, for sure. And but I would have to agree, like, I love the day on the water, but I really loved question and answer time out on the pontoon boat. I love paddle boarding with Scotty and you guys. We just had so much fun.
Yeah.
It was just so fun. And then the dancing. We got to do dances with our friends and our groups. And
can we talk about how I had my whole group? We were all awkward dancers. And so therefore it made it an interesting situation.
It was great. It was great.
It was perfect.
It was amazing. Well, and I loved that. So Penny and Chad, their daughter Miranda is a pastor's wife now, and she was in your group. And like, I loved, like, she was dancing and doing all the stuff in the front. If you go back and watch that video, you'll see it from quite a few weeks ago at this point. But Penny was like in the back behind me going, "That's my daughter. That's my girl." So it was just really
She
cute.
was hilarious. She made me so happy.
Can I also say that I gained 5 pounds while I was there?
Oh my goodness.
Literally, I weighed
Y'all.
myself.
You weighed I did not even dare weigh myself.
5 pounds.
Let me just tell y'all that food and the amount of food that they served us and that we ate, and the ice cream
Oh my gosh.
3 scoops each time
And it was good.
on a waffle cone.
on a waffle cone.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Well, I will say that if you check out, maybe we can put in the show notes about their camp, because you can actually go to family camp there and other times during the year. Yes, even if you're in the South and it seems really far away, I will say that I think it is worth it for every human
100%.
to go to this camp at least once in their life. So yeah, we'll put the link. Go check them out. Make it happen. We've just heard such amazing things, and then we got to be there and experience it. Yeah, for sure. It was wonderful.
Do it. Go
Do it now. Well, we love you guys. And until next time,
Bye for now.
bye. Okay, friends, if you have enjoyed this episode as much as we have, please help us spread the word on Facebook and Instagram.
If you didn't know yet, Instagram is where all the fun is at. From dance reels on Wednesdays to spiritual encouragement and laugh out loud posts in between, there is something for everyone.
And last but certainly not least, if you could take a moment right now to stop what you're doing and give us a rating and review, even subscribe to our podcast, this seriously helps other people find us who wouldn't be able to otherwise. Thank you so much for your love and support. We hope you'll tune in next week.